Good afternoon, people across the globe. That's right, we're global today. I'm claiming it. There's somewhere out there waiting for that World Cup match, probably to root on, I don't know, England or something, and they're tuning in and watching this instead. My name is Formal. Joining me is Quicksand, as we're bringing you clubs of a different variety. It's the local Brisbane clubs doing battle with playoff implications aplenty. And by that, I only mean one match. Our first match, still Quicksand. We finally got together after missing each other the past 2 weeks.
Hi, Max. Yeah, you're kind of right on that one. I think it's going to be Argentina playing against Saudi Arabia right after our second game ends. So I think it makes a nice little segue from our wonderful car action to real life on the pitch action.
Yeah, and the matches could be just as brutal as what we're probably going to be seeing happening in that one as well. Look, normally I come into this saying, oh boy, we've got some close matches upcoming, except for our first match today. We've got a VR squad that didn't leave me impressed during week one versus, well, a TGG squad that didn't leave me impressed as well. The difference is I know where the ceiling lies for the Gamers Ground, and coming into today with the expectation on players like TK, I feel like this first match could be that 3-0.
And in that first week, they didn't exactly line up to your expectations of what we mentioned before. So hopefully this team matches the standards you've been talking about, because if they played and put on such an exciting show in that first week, what could they bring this week?
Again, I'm hoping. If I'm a TGG fan, I'm hoping for the 3-0. If I'm the Freespace Haymakers, you never know. You could look to sort of disrupt the flow. Either way, it is a match with playoff implications. Winner goes to the grand final next week, which will be played live at the Team Bliss HQ. For the losers, well, they're going to be missing out. And our second match, however, TGG's B team going up against the Bliss B team in, well, I want to call it a friendly, because both these teams have each already qualified for the final match. This one has no implications whatsoever on what will be happening next week. But, I mean, it's nice to get a win, I suppose.
I'll say it louder for the people in the back once again. Don't forget, this first game we're going to watch tonight, the winner of the game is going to qualify for the finals next week. So there is a lot riding on this one, despite what we may imagine each team going to perform. Whoever wins this one does get to qualify. So I think the nerves might be coming out from both these sides. Yeah.
Maybe, I wouldn't expect nerves on TGG. And I'm not knocking this on the tournament again, but, like, I don't know. The club's championship versus RLCS top 8 quarterfinals. It's a little bit different set of nerves and expectations that will be met by some of these players right here. Granted, for the Freespace side, maybe the nerves can get affected them because they're going to be going up against opponents they're probably not used to playing against. Again, it is still that LAN environment where you're getting together with a group. Honestly, I think that kind of helps you more than it hinders you. Either way, we will see how this one plays through. But even players on the Freespace, I mean, they have a lot of intervarsity players as well on that team who have competed in events like AEL. So it's not as if these are players new to competition, as we get a look right there. Oh, the young guns of XP all looking the wrong way, getting ready to go. But yeah, it's funny. I talk RLCS players, right? And you see, two older-looking men there playing. No, it's the kid. The kid is the scary one. The one closest to the camera. That's who you have to watch out for.
See, look, Max, your attention might lie on the right side of the screen, but for me, something on the left seems to go a little awry.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I just see 3 focused, determined, ready players to do battle right now. I don't know what you're getting at.
The guy in the middle's not wearing headphones, Max. How's he going to hear the game?
True. How can you communicate without headphones? That's a good point, Quicksand. I can't believe we missed that. That is... terrifying to take note. Now I'm really worried for Freespace VR.
So just to clarify, these sort of shenanigans were not happening last week?
Oh no, the Freespace VR B team all came in rocking pirate hats last week. It was pretty great. And they took a game away as well, so it was good fun to watch. They were able to steal that one out. Either way, though, it looks as if we're heading to the pitch. Game number 1. Moments away from kicking off. Again, the Freespace VR Haymakers will be on the blue side. Gamers Ground will be in orange. TK, the name to look out for the Gamers Ground. If you're a fan of Freespace, though, keep your eyes on Nancho. Again, Nancho, the player with that QUT experience, has gotten a top 16 or 2 in the past in the AEL InterVarsity Championship. Can they pull off the upset here tonight?
perhaps a wealth of experience, and Freespace with the let's just say the middleman is playing a little different tonight.
Yeah,
It's going to be a a fun one tonight.
Yeah, I mean, already double commits and big whiffs coming through on the Freespace side. Knick-Knack will punish, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, as expected, this is something that we mentioned earlier. Look, the young gentleman sitting closest to the camera is well and truly prepared to support
nothing
the rest
to do
of
with
the team
that
to
play.
close us out.
Yeah, nothing to do with that play, by the way. That was entirely the other two.
Look, Max, I think it's more that like if like let's say you're like I'm not going to assume the ages of these wonderful players over here, but like if you're
He's
like
15.
20 and then you got a 15-year-old sitting next to you, I feel like it automatically boosts you to want to play better, so you can show off in front of the 15-year-old.
I don't get what is up with the Gamers Ground and attracting like the best young generation players out there as we get a nice little reset from TK to clear it across the middle. Because it's not just TK, I forget the kid's name, but the youngest Supersonic Legend, which is like the top rank in Rocket League, like in the world, has come and played in events at the Gamers Ground, I think, on multiple occasions now, right now. Like,
what?
Yeah, it's actually kind of insane. He was featured on a Sudless Con video a couple months ago, and like, the youth that comes through TGG, it's actually so impressive and fun to watch. Meanwhile, for the Freespace side, obviously, you know, they're having fun. You got Balloon Man kind of sitting there in the middle. I'm not sure which player that is, but...
there's a Balloon Man?
Yeah, Balloon's MVP. As, oh my goodness, TK. And this is what I'm talking about, why I don't think TK has any nerves here today. You know, nice dribble, over two, gets the second touch underneath the third defender. You can see the team reacting to that. They're just looking and laughing. You can't do anything to stop it.
Oh, man. I mean, I think you and me, Max, have both attended a couple LANs. I know you came down here in Melbourne to do one at Fortress along with me, and we weren't doing it at the same time. I'd done one earlier. And one of my favorite things about watching the LANs, and we get to see here, is those player cams. People have so much fun, man.
Yeah.
Like seeing them fist bump, high five, laugh, and Freespace, though they may be 2-0 down, look like they're having the best time on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, just like last week, too. I think if there's anything we could take away, the Freespace crew knows how to sort of take this event and make it fun, make it less serious. I saw you, by the way, at Supernova. What's it Supernova? No, wait, no, PAX. I saw you
come
at
say hi?
You were in the middle of a conversation with some very important people, so I thought I'd give you space. By the way, reset goal TK, yet another one.
I think I know exactly when you saw you. It was a shame we didn't get to bump into each other, but there's a couple more events we get to see each other around in Max's. The Gamers Ground take themselves to the hefty lead that we mentioned we'd probably see them at earlier.
Yeah, I think we will definitely, hopefully get to the... I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun next year. Maybe even more of it. Maybe, if you ask nicely, TGG could fly you up here for more the next iteration of the club's championship. And we can have the casting live at whatever location it'll be. I'm sure that could be arranged. I can hear it now. The panicked excitement of piecing this one together.
Yes. Oh, there's already messages coming in my DMs just begging me to make it happen, Max.
Yeah, it's going to be on you, though. Not only do you have to pay for your own flight and accommodation, but you have to pay for mine as well, and I already live here. Knick-Knack, paddywhack, score another goal.
How does that song go again? It's like he goes through a couple numbers, but cool name, cool song, big part of my childhood as well. I was more of a Humpty Dumpty guy, though. You feel me?
All I remember. So my first thought was Charlotte's Web, which is like not a nursery rhyme. So, yes. Hey, look, he got another goal, or did he?
Oh! Oh yeah, that was a bit cheeky. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah,
good save.
Nancho comes up big.
Yeah, did you have a favorite nursery rhyme, Max?
Not really.
Nah.
I can't.
There's nothing that like. Surely something stands out in your memory, right?
No. I guess Itsy Bitsy Spider, since we're going Charlotte's Web. That's the closest. Yeah. And I wonder why spiders could be on my mind, Quicksand. I wonder whose fault that is.
Yeah. So if you know, maybe that's a good name, Max. Maybe we should call it Itsy. Like I feel like that's a kind of cute name for my spider. Has managed to invade my off-desk microphone very recently, and it's been dangling down off the web at about 4 p.m. every single day for the last like 4 days. And I've been struggling to find a name. If anyone out there has something to back me up with, or perhaps a suggestion, please let me know. But Itzy is it's kind of cute. I might go with it.
Yeah, I think Itzy works. Itzy's assuming it's a smaller spider. Like it's not a huntsman. All right, good. Because if there's a huntsman living on your microphone, I'd be a little more than mildly concerned. As we will get another centering play. TK is just playing with his food right there. I don't know how much people were noticing that, but went back and forth twice across the pitch, causing defenders to swing and miss. Gamers Ground, they're just, yeah, they're relaxed, they're having fun, they're playing with their food. Look for them to go for, I guess, lower percentile shots, but definitely the flashier ones, I feel like, if they're really feeling themselves mechanically. As Knick-Knack will throw it back, not finding anything there, and, well, sometimes they'll just straight up miss the ball.
Well, that's right. Back on Spiders, the Gamers Ground have Freespace caught in their web. They are playing with their food, waiting to look to find it. TK zooms through the sky and absolutely munches down on his prey for number 5.
Just a reset right over the top. Both Nancho and Rusty not expecting the reset right there. They were playing assuming the ball was going to drop that a little bit lower, but because of the reset, you keep it elevated. Could have actually been a little bit higher. That wasn't a perfect goal from TK. That's right. I'm getting the nitty-gritties out on this one as Hold the Thought. Saucy puts one through, and we won't be getting a shutout in our first game.
You can see the absolute ecstasy on our middleman for Freespace right now. Just emotions flowing through that orange balloon face of his.
Yeah, just the you can really see the disappointment, the agony, the anguish,
the bewilderment.
Yeah, of being behind 5-1 right now. TK, again, with some possession, tries to pass it to themselves. Actually wound up missing. Knick-Knack will follow it through. 10 seconds left, though, in this first game. We're not seeing the comeback. It's going to be game 1 going to TGG in rather dominant fashion. Do we get one more goal? Mace might try to throw it back to a teammate. Underneath, it's taken away by Nancho, and we go on to game number 2.
One game under Gamers Ground's belts means that they only have, it's 2 more to go. That's right. I had a little bit of stutter there. 2 more to go to be able to close this one out and find themselves in that qualifying position to make it to the finals, which is pretty exciting. But if they're moving at this pace, I don't think they're even going to have to break a sweat to be able to finish off Freespace.
Yeah, it feels that way. It definitely does, like, for lack of better terms, again, it's a little bit of the experience differential. I mean, Maze and Knick-Knack, I'd say, are on par with the majority of the Freespace side, but you can tell when TK is given the ball with space what he's able to do just on pure mechanics alone. And for those who have been following, you know, the RLCS, they know TK on the Lurkers has been kind of fallen into that role of being the mechie player. Like, the Lurkers team arguably didn't get a lot of the results they were looking for. They did make, you know, that one top 8 at the end. But that was a lot to do with the play of TK. The teammates Walcott and Lurky on that squad, much more... Well, Walcott's much more of a controlled third-man type player. Lurky is another mech monkey, but one that can sometimes be a lot more hesitant. TK doesn't have that same sort of fear. And it's the same with a lot of the younger generation of players coming through. They just send it, which has been so refreshing to see. Nancho, probably, you know, that generation behind, unfortunately, and although is the player I'm looking out for on the Freespace side, I don't think we'll be seeing Nacho take risks as Knick-Knack, gets the first goal.
Yep, been scoring a lot of goals recently as well, and on the note of breaking a sweat, I wouldn't be surprised if these guys have been following my workout routine at the gym. I've actually been doing weighted flip resets recently, which is it's actually improved my flip reset timing, accuracy, and power. I don't know if you ever tried them yourself, Max. Weighted flip resets, resisted mustard flicks. There's a whole shebang of things you can try when you're over there.
I don't know what a flip reset is in regards to a gym. I have lost.
No, it's like I'm flip resetting in Rocket League, but I got weights attached to my fingers as well.
Okay. I thought this was just gym. I thought it was some new workout you're talking about. Like, oh, this is a reference going over my head. No, instead it was a Piccolo reference. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, a Piccolo reference, like
DBZ.
Like the instrument. Oh.
Okay, sorry. Are you Naruto then? I don't know. Rock Lee.
I'm talking about Rocket League.
You're talking about weighted clothing. That's Rock Lee, Piccolo. If it's an anime,
Rock Lee. I get
okay.
You
get Rock Lee.
Like
okay,
Goku.
There we go. Look, all I know is if a character is wearing green, they're probably wearing weighted clothing. That's how anime works. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. Maybe we gotta start wearing green more, Max. Weighted casting repetitions. That would go well.
That sounds... It's already hot and sweaty enough here. TK going for a double, passing it back actually for the team.
Ooh.
Knick-Knack puts it through. Makes it look too easy.
Yeah, it really does. Like TK, that pass down, clinical, man.
Perfect.
Straight into Knick-Knack's hands. It's like damn, yeah. Like it felt like it wasn't even hard. Like you just see it happen, but there's so much skill and practice that goes into doing that.
I mean, the double touch setup was like really the challenging part of that play, but imagine like how good it must feel to be like in that situation, Knick-Knack, and having the trust in your teammate that through traffic they're still going to find a way to get you the perfect pass and make you look like the star. It happened with both the goals so far for the Gamers Ground. I think the first one was a little bit more impressive because it had a reset thrown in there. Now Knick-Knack has a chance to return the favor.
Oh.
Got the reset themselves, couldn't break the defense, and how selfish is that? Didn't even try to pass it back to the team.
Knick-Knack is on top of the world with the goals and already wants to go for a hat-trick off the bat of the game instead of passing for a goal. A bit of ego, but look, no, Max, you haven't been following Blue Lock, new anime that dropped recently about soccer?
No, I don't watch anime.
When you brought up Piccolo reference, I got really excited.
Yeah, but because it's, okay, like, yes, DBZ and Naruto are technically animes, but they're about as Western of an anime as you can get.
Yeah, that is a good call. Maybe it's, yeah. Maybe it's more in tune if we talk about the World Cup. You are following that, right?
Vaguely. Like, look, I have a lot of European friends. They all seem really excited about the Netherlands and their chances. I just want to watch England lose so I can laugh at them.
Nah, come on, Max. Have you?
What?
It's coming home. It's coming home.
Oh, you think it's? Oh, you think? Oh, are you actually pulling for England?
Well, I'm mainly swinging for Australia, but.
Oh no, our group is death. There's zero shot we're getting out of that group.
Look, Max, we're playing tomorrow morning and we're winning. Mark my words, against France. I feel it in my soul.
All right, I have marked your words in the complete rubbish part of my brain, and it will stay there. Look, honestly, I don't know. Like with this World Cup, it's gonna be interesting. I will say that once we get a little bit further in, I think get to the top 16. That's usually where I start to pay a bit more attention because I don't have time for losers, and unfortunately, that's where Australia didn't even get a car decal. We didn't even get a car decal in Rocket League. How am I supposed to think they stand a chance? Yeah.
Hold on. I need you to clarify this to me, Max. So you're telling me that Rocket League, to commemorate the World Cup, dropped skins for the World Cup for the cars, right?
Yep. There's no
Australia.
There was not an Australia skin. There was a New Zealand skin.
What? They didn't even make it in.
Exactly. Because they know 2-1 game as the pass through the corner will go through straight to Rusty, putting it back within one goal in our final 20 seconds. Look, I actually know the reason why. Probably shouldn't say it on air, but there is a reason why there was no Australian skin. There was an excuse, and it's not just because lol Australia gonna lose.
Okay. I'll trust your reasoning, Max, instead of being infuriated at Psyonix for not placing in our wonderful competitive country that will win the World Cup this year as well. But right now we are still looking towards our own nation right now. The Gamers Ground already 2-1 up. Almost making it 3, but only a second left on the clock. Freespace, they still have a chance to knock it in if they can keep it up in the air. It's coming down to Rusty, it's being kept up here by Maze. Just flying around in the sky right now. Neither team able to find an opportunity to close it out. And Rusty going to drop it on the ground, giving Gamers Ground their second and putting them a match point.
Yep, 2-2, or 2-0 I should say, not 2-2, and hopefully for the Gamers Ground we don't get to a 2-2 situation, but a 2-1 victory, not quite as dominant in the first showing. And this is something similar we actually saw with the Gamers Ground 2 weeks ago when you were casting them. They had a fantastic start, and they kind of eased up on the gas and allowed their opponents back into it. I thought we could have seen something at the end there when it was getting kind of close towards, that ending. We saw, the one goal get put through. But in the end, Gamers Ground holds on. And as we move into our third and possibly final game, expectations have to be on that clean sweep.
Absolutely. They've managed to completely dominate that. You are very right, though. It rings very true to what happened in the first game I saw them play, where they absolutely overwhelmed their opponents and then took their foot off the gas, as you mentioned. So I hope it doesn't happen again, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Freespace perhaps getting a chance to come back and combat this victory. As that was a bit of a cheeky. Was that a mustard flip, by the way, Max? I've been trying to locate what a mustard flip is because it sounds so cool, and all my friends think it sounds funny. So, but
I want you to say the name of the flip one more time, just so I understand what you're trying to get at.
A musty flip or a mustard?
Musty.
Flip?
Yeah, musty,
No,
not mustard. There's no sauce on it.
It sounds funnier. It's like
yeah. Okay, so the musty flip is named after a player, and I'll try to think. Hopefully, we see one right now. I don't know. Someone get TK to pull one off so he can better show up. But it's essentially when you flip the car in a way that uses it almost like a bat when you're coming through, but it's more of a. I'm getting my front and back flip confused. Either way, TK is just going to get a. Is that I believe that was a dunk to put it in. I'm gonna watch this one again. I couldn't tell if it was a dunk or a pinch. Oh no, it was just being faster. Fair enough.
Yep,
all right, yeah,
yep.
1-0 lead.
Gamers Ground finally putting their foot down. They do not want a repeat of what happened in the first week, and they are going to make that ever so clear. Already pushing it up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see another brutal second goal here coming out right off the bat.
I mean, they're going to be trying for it. That is for certain, as Maze is unable to get over the top of Rusty, who had become a little bit of a fan favorite, I feel like, for the Haymakers. If you looked at the Twitch chat last week, Rusty was the one who they were pulling for. Has the little chibi dog on their car as well. And I don't know if they're Rusty fans or dog fans. Either way, it's Saucy who's going to get the goal to equalize this game.
An equalized game. Look, Freespace may not be out of it just yet, Max. The Gamers Ground, are they getting too confident? I mean, I'm looking at their cams right now, and they're typing in chat to each other. So it seems like they're very much confident in how this game is going to go.
I mean, the chatting, I think, was a little bit in response to some of the things TGG was saying up top. Who felt a little bit silly letting that one through. Either way, this is about as open as you can get, and it's stolen away by their own team. TK shaking his head like, come on, that was free. And now it clearly goes back in the opposite direction. This is the self-sabotage from the Gamers Ground I was talking about before.
Okay, imagine this, Max. Imagine this, okay? It's 2-2. The score is 3-all in the 5th game, and Saucy drops a mustard flick to bring them into the finals. As Aussie Rusty this time is going to come through with the second one, and for the first time so far in this series, Freespace have found themselves taking a lead here against the Gamers Ground.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good in this situation. They're able to make that the 2-1 in their favor now, and I have to go back and look at that goal that should have been for free in TK's favor. Stolen away by the team. Now the Gamers Ground are behind. Are they going to be able to bring this one back? Are they extending the game for content like we saw? Maybe. I got to throw it out there because when you see how much space is being given to the Haymakers, it's definitely been a change in approach. This, though, should be in, and absolutely is.
Spiraled out of control, and the little Phoenix celebration coming out is much better than when I casted, where every single celebration was like the Grim Reaper dabbing.
Oh, yeah. It's,
why was that ever a thing?
There are some bad ones. I still remember. Have you seen the Black Hole celebration?
Where like sucks you? No.
Yeah.
You in?
It sucks like all the cars into it. When that first came out, it would crash the game. It was pretty great.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Like every time?
It had like about a 20% chance to. So that was fun.
Like a coin flip goal celebration.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, if you get 1-0, crash the game, you get the win. GG's, right? Like, gotta take that risk sometimes.
Wait, true?
I don't know.
Either way, broken goal celebration. Look, I kind of like the one where like it goes in and it makes like a drop of water sound. That's
the splash.
The splash, yeah.
Dude, that one I remember. Back in ones, people would get so irrationally angry whenever that one was used against them. Something about that goal just annoys people. So I appreciate it as well. It's one of my favorites. If you ever heard my car, I intentionally have chose the Screaming Cats engine sound as an homage to Kenny Salmon. And like, it's, the rage you get from people. TK!
What?
TK! Come on, man. Now, that was revenge from before, I'll have you know. That was absolutely revenge. If anyone's scoring the game winner, it's got to be TK as he just misses the double.
Yeah, he goes for it, either a shot or a pass. It doesn't find either as it's being sent back to them. Still a minute on the clock and the game is tied. TK looks like...
Oh, no, do it again! Do him dirty twice! Yes, over the top, and no! It's off the post and not through. Follow-up touch will be saved. TK almost faked out 5 defenders for a game winner.
You are having too much fun, TK. Playing against pretty much the entire team, trying to deny him his chance of a cheeky little revenge goal after being foiled in his plan earlier. He has now come in to absolutely slam the ball down. 30 seconds on the clock, and it's the game, though 2-all, feels entirely out of Haymaker's control.
Yep, and that goal should probably do it. TK, enough messing around, saw the demo coming and being set up and decided I may as well put this one in. Good setup from Nick Knack, waterfall down. Saucy didn't really have the boost, actually did have the boost to go up for it, so hesitation in that instance, holding Saucy back. And that's probably going to do us for this series. 24 seconds, free space. This is their last chance. They've got to get a goal here or their tournament is over.
Absolutely devastating. You can see how all of TGG is just mentally falling apart in the chat, Max. We saw a message from Nick Knack saying, my team is throwing.
Well, they were throwing before, but now they've recovered. And guess what? They're nearly own goaling it to take it into overtime. It does get pushed aside at the tail end of it all. Nacho, one last chance, lets it drop. And TGG have a rematch against Team Bliss in their home turf. That's going to be a fun grand final.
No, did you see that? TK was about to wave at the camera and then they cut off. Absolutely devastating.
Well,
goodbye, TK.
Blame Alex for that in the chat. Blaming Alex. But still, good showing for the Gamers Ground. A lot more of what I expected in this one. 72 touches, by the way, in that third game out of TK, which is absolutely insane. But a lot of that was just from the dribbling, was just from the solo play and the mechanics that were up. 3-0 though, and unfortunately, Freespace VR, they might have the best color, I'll go on the record saying, but unfortunately, they do not have the best DIV-1 team.
Unfortunately, Freespace, the team that had the most fun, is the team that doesn't make it through to the final. They have come through with shenanigans time and time again with the little balloon man, some pirate hats. Either way,
if it were up to me, like I would. Oh, fist bump! All right, fist bumps to the balloon. I thought we were going to see Balloon Man get cut from the team. I thought we were going to see some poppage action, but it looks like, it's all high spirits nonetheless for Freespace VR out of the Wollongabba. So a big thank you to them and their participation in this event. But on the XP side, yeah, they're going to be happy. They got their win. They're cool, calm, and collected. And the thing that I was most impressed with, again, was how cool, calm, and collected were. I mean, they were playing as much against each other as they were their opponents, and they still found ways to win, is what I'm getting at.
That's right. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still riding up that fist bump.
Look, we don't.
It's so funny. Oh, man.
At least it wasn't the handshake fist bump. Those are...
Oh, man. Dude, that happened to me today. I was, walking up to a dude, and he went for the handshake and went for the fist bump, and then we both, swapped. So, and then I went for scissors instead, and then he thought it was really funny. I feel like that's, the recovery you're going to make.
Next time I'm going for a handshake and someone offers me the fist bump, I'm just going to grab their wrist and see how they react. I want to see where that one goes. We're going to be throwing it to a break now, though, before we get ready for our second match of the afternoon, so do stay with us. It could be a little bit of a wait. Scheduled to start at 7:30 Australian Eastern Time. We're going to see if we can't push it a little bit forward, though. It all depends on the players and when they are ready. So do stay with us. More Rocket League when we return. Surprise, surprise. We're interrupting the airways to bring you a chat with a special guest from VR. They didn't really get a win, but I still think this team was probably one of the more fun ones to watch. Joining us, not only do we have Rusty, but we have Saucy as well beside him. The duo try to come through. Okay, I have to go straight into this, Rusty. What is the story behind the balloon? Where's Saucy, and who is this imposter?
Okay, so Saucy had a little bit of a mishap and missed his train into the city. And we had to find a replacement really quick in a 30-minute period. So we brought Balloon Boy. He's a nice little addition to the team. I think he played a little bit better than Saucy in the long run, but we'll see once we play a little bit more friendly matches in the spare time.
I have to say, personally, looking at your team dynamic and how you played with Balloon Boy as a replacement for Saucy, you two had great chemistry. I saw some fist bumps, some cheering, some celebration. But I have to say, it doesn't look like there's much going on up there for Balloon Boy.
No, unfortunately not. He's a little bit of an airhead at the moment, but I think he'll be just a little bit more practice. He'll get something between those ears.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, I also have to throw back a little bit to last week as well, because you're playing on both guard divisions, both A and B, and we saw the Pirate hats get busted out before. It really felt like, for Freespace VR in both teams, it was a much more casual, laid-back attitude. You guys were here to have a good time. Is that kind of what the goal was?
Yeah, that's it. It's our first real tournament with the brand, so we decided we'll just take it chill back a little bit, make ourselves known, and hopefully with the next season we can find a couple bit more talent to represent us.
Yeah. What are you thinking? Like so far you've got Balloon Boy. Do we have Cardboard Carnage, perhaps?
Ooh, Cardboard Carnage would be good. Yeah, Skeletor as well. Skeletor would be a good addition.
I'm a big
we
fan
should
of
have
Poster
Santa.
Pete. Poster Pete's always a good one. Oh, Santa
Pete.
Yeah.
Santa.
Bringing it back to Santa would be fun. Bringing it back, though, to the games itself. I hate to bring up tough losses, but I am kind of curious because, again, first event like this, and then you go up against a player who has, top 8 RLCS experience, like TK, who's pulling off double resets and double touches at a whim. What is going through your team's mind when he's able to kind of just freestyle straight over the middle?
I reckon it's just another Tuesday, in all honesty. We were expecting it. The first game was a bit of feeling out the team. Once again, we haven't really watched too much content, but I think we got in their heads in the last 2 to 3 matches. So.
True. Yeah, some of the saves that they were making on their own shots. Further question, though, as well, though. Tell us a little bit about Freespace VR, because it is, all I know about it is in Wollongabba, and I can read all the things down below, land gaming, esports, VR, arcade, education, and training. What is the general vibe you have down there?
So we're a virtual reality arcade to start off with. We do entertainment for birthday parties, events, people that want to try VR out for the first time and have a couple of questions with it. We used to be in Fortune Valley for about 3-4 years beforehand. COVID kind of knocked out all our competitors, so we were like, oh, well, we'll grow up just that little bit, decided to do a bit more. And we decided to jump into land gaming just to put an alternate out there for us.
Cool. And then, obviously, as a team-wise, your first, dipping the toes into an event like this, there is some great talent out there in Brisbane. How are you going to go about trying to recruit it and bring it into Freespace VR?
So after this tournament, I'll be pushing quite aggressively for our esports side and our shop. Discord is in the midst of being made, so people can join. We're going to be running online as well as local-based tournaments, both in the LAN center and in our VR spaces as well.
And I imagine it's going to be more than just Rocket League?
Oh, yeah, much more than Rocket League. We've already got a bunch of kids that come in and play Valorant in the shop already. And then we've got a couple of business owners in the complex that play Dota 2. So.
Dota. That's going to be a challenging one, I feel like. Quicksand, do you have any more follow-up questions?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to. You guys seem like you're having a great time, and I got my favorite team throughout the competition. I was rooting for you guys in my heart. Don't tell anyone.
All right.
Now there's 2 teams that are through. Do you think you guys got a special place in your heart for either of them that you'll be rooting for?
I think it's much of a muchness. We've got a couple of teammates that were with Nancho, so we might be leaning more towards TGG, in all honesty.
Yeah.
TGG it is.
TGG, even though Bliss has the nicer color, I say how it is. And I say that with the TGG backdrop as well, wearing the XP shirt. I don't know, Team Bliss, I'm kind of leaning their side. That's because I want to see things burn. All right, so you have your prediction. You have anything? Any final words, Rusty, before we send you on your way to enjoy the rest of the night?
Just have fun, in all honesty. You saw how entertaining it was for us, just participating in it. But majority of us will be at the finals as well. So you might see us annoying is in there.
All right, well, that sounds like a good time. Hopefully, you can bust. Hopefully, Balloon Boy is going to be able to show up to the finals as well. Would be a shame to miss out on him. Either way, thank you, Rusty, for joining us. And, yeah, maybe we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
And on that note, we still have a bit of time before our next matchup, about 15 minutes away until we kick that one off. But before we do get to it, I would like to take some time to thank some of our sponsors for this event as well, because I haven't really had a chance to kind of talk too much about them just yet, and you know, without them we can't have an event like this. Mobius and Computer Alliance are kind of the duo working together here to bring this one out. Computer Alliance providing a lot of the tech that you see to run the stream. Mobius helping provide some of the screens and monitors that you're seeing for the players at TGG in and of itself. You're going to see more of those, though, in 15 minutes time, so do stay with us. DIV-2 when we return. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're settled in. I hope you're not too distracted by other games, because we've still got one more match here today. It's a preview game, dare I say, of our second final, our Division 2 final, but this one more for fun. TGG taking on Team Bliss and Quicksand. When nothing's on the line, does that mean everything is on the line?
I think so, because when nothing's on the line, Max, everything's on the line.
That's what I asked you. You said yes, and then you repeated what I said. Why? Why is everything on the line?
I was agreeing with you.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I think
Well,
as you said, it's kind of like a bit of a preview.
I don't think anything's on the line. I think this is a pointless game. That's what I.
Well,
think.
no. But you said it, that everything's on the line. No.
I asked you, and you said yes.
You said. Yes. So it'll be a fun game to see. It's kind of just egos on the line right now with these guys having fun. Hopefully we see them enjoying their time as much as we've seen the VR people having fun. Very serious. Hopefully it's some celebrating, some high-fiving, some cheering. That's what I want to see today.
I want to see who's wearing that hat. Hey there, how you going?
Oh!
Looking good. Yeah, it's up.
Oh, it's a piece of paper? What?
That was the secret strategy, all right? You can't say it out loud because people could lip read it.
Oh!
Oh,
No
there's
way!
Santa. Oh,
Santa with a sombrero on. This is unheard of.
yeah, and here we thought Santa was going to be for Freespace VR.
This is unbelievable. And unfortunately, it looks like Freespace haven't managed to make the signing they've been looking for, and instead, it's been stolen away by TGG. That's absolutely devastating.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a shocker, a little bit of a twist to what we were expecting, but that's all well and good because, well, any moment now this game will be kicking off, and we'll see how it does play out. Again, for both these sides, though, low stakes on this one, unfortunately. I mean, no matter what, they're going to be having that rematch again. It will be happening at the Team Bliss HQ in 1 week's time, so that will be fun when we get to it, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the word should be given. We should be ready to kick this one off.
And here we go. Stakeless, dangerous. Team Bliss already on 3 games in the overall best of 5. So really big scoreline for them. Really happy for that one.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to piece together right here as we kick off our first game in this series. On the Gamer Ground side, we have Logi in repping Team Power. There we go. Some of that OCE pride right there. Fruit Peach with the 6 shades in the zebra skin Octane. And, of course, Mr. Funky with the best color scheme of the lot. On the other side, though, for Team Bliss, you have Zerg AU in the 1 Fennec, I do believe. Mixer in the bright Bliss pink Octane. And Nate Mixel in the ruby red Octane.
Oh, wow. You have such nice descriptors for words, Max. Is it, do you like study these up sometimes? Oh, and here we go. Logi giving us a sneak peek at how the first round of the first game of the first series we're going to see from Gamers Ground versus Team Bliss in the Div 2 finals might just go.
Open net, able to put the shot through, so 1-0 lead for the Gamers Ground. It's a good start there. We're looking for Logi. We'll get credit for that goal, and hopefully many more like it. It's weird, though, because in this type of situation, like, how much do you want to show your opponents? Like, do you really want to go all out, or do you want to occasionally miss the ball in front of the net to give them a false sense of hope like we saw right here?
Yeah, I think it is completely a tactical decision here to miss that one. I think if you put it, they're trying to lower their opponent's guard, Max.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Either way, 2 goals in our first minute of play tells me we could be seeing a high-scoring affair between these two sides. It will be
And-
Gamers Ground on the hunt.
It at least puts on a bit of a show for us. Last game we did see a 3-0 sweep, so at least these guys, maybe it's like a good taster, you know? You feel me? Like, Max, you know when you go to Woolies or like Costco or something and they get the free tasters?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening right now. Like, they taste so good because they're free.
Yeah, because they're free. I think that's the kicker. I never really. Have you ever actually had one of those free samples and awkward miss? And wind up actually buying anything from it? Because I usually just taste it and, well, kind of like Nate Mixel here. I taste it and go, nah, that's not for me, and then just lets the ball go into the goal.
It's like I might have actually considered buying it before I had the taster too. I was like, oh, this isn't very good. Maybe I won't buy it. So, taster kind of had the opposite effect.
Yeah, well, that defense wasn't very good. Let's see if Team Bliss can flip it back around. Nate Mixel out of the corridor, put one towards the net. Didn't look like it was going to go in. Funky looking for the double touch, not able to find it this time around. Follow up though from Fruit Peach. Also winds up a little bit short.
Now, Gamers Ground, they hold their lead as they contest the ball tightly in the middle of the pitch. Both teams have shown steadily so far what they have under their belt, and again, how much are they hiding up their sleeve? A big open ball down, and Mr. Funky obviously had to get his hands on top of that one.
And Mr. Funky trying to do what they can. Fruit Peach now, though, keeps the ball up and away from a dangerous position. Team Bliss on the hunt. Tries to set up through the corner. Proactive defense from Funky. Gets a bit of a booming touch. Defense was waiting for it in the middle of the field. Unfortunately for Bliss, though, they weren't able to keep it in their possession. Kind of a strange moment for the map to flip. Enough so that the Gamers Ground didn't capitalize despite having boost. I don't know, hesitant decision making right now coming from each side.
Head-on collision into the ball means that both players are going to soar away here as Team Bliss now rocket the ball around the side, and for a moment we had stillness.
For a moment we had a Rule 1, and this is what happens when you break the Rule 1, Mr. Funky. This is what happens. So shame to Mr. Funky, shame to the Gamers Ground, and a bit of redemption for Nate Mixel as well, finding that goal over the top right now. Oh, you can apologize all you like in chat. We all know what happened. It was caught on stream.
Caught red-handed with no way out. A kickoff goal. Max, you and me, well, I think we go back with kickoff goals. I remember we had a cast together and we saw a kickoff goal. I was like laughing. I was like, wow, this is funny. Like, this is so unique. And they got the goal. And you looked at me. Like, I couldn't see your face.
Yeah.
But you looked at me.
Oh, it was serious. Like, there was anger. There was fire, brimstone. I hate kickoff goals. Because there's no excuse for them. Realistically, like, when teams have been playing and practicing for as long as they have, unless a team does something absolutely special on a kickoff goal, there's really no reason for it to ever come through. Fruit Peach, that was a cheeky touch. 3-2 lead for the Gamers Ground.
Smiting the ball into the back of the net. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that one coming. It was a cheeky little tap that just no one could get their hands on, and now Gamers Ground have found themselves in a nice little spot.
Yeah, I think this series, though, has the potential to go the distance. Both these teams do appear to be evenly matched, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Just weird moments where we're getting players too far forward, and the punishment has happened on more than one occasion. So I'm hoping to see these teams calm it down a little bit as we go into games 2, 3, and possibly 4 and 5. I want to see more passive play, believe it or not, on each side, because the overcommits have been lethal.
Yeah, they have, Max. There's been a lot of big commit to, and Mr. Funky tries to dribble it down. It comes around the curb and further denied here as pushed up by Nate Mixel. Both teams. You're right. I feel like we are getting a strong taster of what the final is going to look like, and I think the best part is how close it is.
Yeah, it is a close one, and Team Bliss is, well, again, kind of pushed too far forward. Two defenders rotating back. No one really in position to get the big bang and flip the map immediately. The end result is going to be a possible extended attack from the Gamers Ground, and with under a minute remaining, that is just awkward positioning. As you see Mr. Funky behind the midfield line, able to touch it. This time, though, Gamers Ground did have to rotate back, but I don't know. I feel like Team Bliss, they're still trying to figure out where they want to be at the pitch at any given moment. They feel a little ball chasey in awkward times.
And look, Max, I really think this is the point we need to cover, is the Gamers Ground. They may be a goal up right now, and they currently are getting battered against, but with their goal lead and now their counterattack they're attempting to mount, how much does the Santa hat have to come into this?
Oh, good point. We're still in November, so it's not at full strength yet.
Ah!
Yeah, I think honestly, it's a fun play. It is an exciting play. Could be a little bit premature, though. It's like, you know, you're revealing your hand early. That's something that you save for the finals.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like the nice big sombrero, like, it brought me to, I was like, hey, this is cute. I like this. It's colorful. It's unique, but maybe they are showing too many of the tricks up their sleeve too early.
Yeah, you know what? That could be a point. And that could be why Team Bliss has been over-aggressive, because, you know, you see that Santa hat and you're thinking, oh, I want to go sit on Santa's lap. I want my presents early. You overextend, you push too far forward. Next thing you know, Santa and his reindeer flying over the top and scoring against you. And that was the pitfall we saw Bliss fall into a couple times in this series. So hopefully Bliss can remember, hold on, this is a mall Santa. This one isn't real.
No!
Something smells a little off here, and maybe they can bring it back here in our second game.
And maybe if they finally get up to him and they truly do tell him what they want for Christmas, he just won't give it to them.
No, I don't think this Santa has believed Bliss to be on the nice list this time around. Eyes will be on, though, this Bliss side. If they drop this game, although these teams might be evenly matched, it would put them in a dire spot. It's kind of must win already for the team in orange.
And I think the other advantage that we've neglected here with the Gamers Ground is that they've had the elves able to workshop on some of the cars, so their functionality and overall performance will be improved.
How much do elves know about, like, car mechanics?
Well, like, what if I ask, like, Santa for a car for Christmas? They have to know how to make one, then, right?
Yeah, but you'll get a toy car. I don't know if they know how to make, like, a working one. That's when you get the Hot Wheels car. And while sick, and arguably better than a car, we'll see. Either way, Bliss, a chance right here. Pass over to Nate Mixel. You saw them lining it up. They put it through as well. 1-0 lead for Bliss.
Yeah, hard to miss this one. It's set up, and it just isn't denied. So Nate Mixel sitting in spot, and the ball really is just delivered like my Uber Eats in about 30 minutes. Lovely, well-placed, and now putting Team Bliss ahead.
Also, should be worth noting, Bliss, a couple subs coming in. You had Zerk AU driving the New Zealand World Cup car, despite New Zealand not being in the World Cup. And Black plays the cutie coming in as well. So a couple of subs. I was wondering when I looked like we saw 4 or 5 players sitting up there on that Bliss side. This is why they're just getting everyone in and involved.
Which I think is great, right? You can see how much fun our VR team was having. They were, you know, they had balloon in, they were laughing, they were high-fiving. So if there's a LAN and everyone's learning how to play competitively in an environment like this, I mean, why not? Why not, Team Bliss? They find number 2.
Yeah, and again, I actually would be really curious who these players are, because it does look like it's a collection of high school students on the Bliss side. And the Bliss A team comprises of actually the Forest Lakes high school team. That's the Team Bliss A team.
Oh.
Which is a team that has had multiple tournament successes in the XP high school. So I am curious how involved they are. Their Nate Mixel is another name that is very familiar to me from the high school league as well. I'm not certain if they're on the Forest Lake B team or not. That could be the case, though. Like, we could be seeing that. I'd have to double check. I'm more familiar with the Conference A than Conference B, unfortunately, in the high school league. But I am kind of wondering if it's just all Forest Lakes right now representing or being represented by Team Bliss.
Forest Lake seems like
Oh, they're
like
stacked.
Scary team, bro.
They're stacked. I think they're currently undefeated as well in our 4th season right now of the high school league in 2022.
Wow.
Both in Conference A and Conference B. Yeah.
Forest Lake seem to have picked up Team Bliss quite nicely, but now they have to face up against TGG, which maybe is a bigger challenge than they expected.
Yeah, maybe. Again, like this team. Yeah, bigger challenge than expected. Those are the words we're going to use.
Yeah.
Look, whoa. Challenging. Yeah, Mr. Funky probably wants that one back. Either way, 3-0 lead for Bliss right now. They're looking pretty comfortable in our second game, and again, kind of goes back to the point. I was expecting this series to be more than a 3-0, and it's looking like we're at least going to get a game 4.
I'm glad to see it. Look, I don't mind sitting down enjoying some Rocket League. Mr. Funky, look guys, tonight's not going to be 3-0, okay? We're closing it out nice and soon. It's still 2 more goals to equalize it, but the statement has been said loud and proud.
Yeah, it was a tough save for Nate Mixel right there. They got underneath the ball, but weren't able to pop it up at that right angle. So the goal will come through, and Gamers Ground perhaps not done yet. Kickoff nearly went in their favor. Black Plays had to really push it forward. Funky now out of their own net. Should follow this one up. Dashi gets goes over to Fruit Peach instead. Pass back, has a lot of distance behind it. Logi's touch, though, not quite where it needed to be.
Mr. Funky looking to bring that one back up as Gamers Ground have been holding the ball on this orange side for an extended period of time, and it takes a demolition to send it back. Mr. Funky almost making the crowd go wild for a second time to keep Gamers Ground in this competition.
Both teams really stocked up on boost right now, and yet Gamers Ground are going unchallenged in the middle of the field. Yeah, this one was due. Team Bliss, they're playing way too passive all of a sudden. And for a team that was over-aggressive in the first game, all of a sudden they're plagued by passive play. That's the only reason why that goal went in.
Mr. Funky smothers the ball in Team Bliss's face and gets Gamers Ground to a point that now seems very reachable.
Oh no. Okay.
No.
Well, that was sloppy from the Gamers Ground, and the bump doesn't really save the day. You got to avoid those double commit whiffs. I know you're feeling the momentum right now. You've scored 2 goals, brought yourself back from a 3-0 deficit, but you did that with controlled play, and it's another double commit.
Well, putting themselves in a really risky situation. If there was anything pushing up at this time, they might have been in a really disgusting spot, but the Gamers Ground, they need to keep this controlled play. Like you were saying, Max, if they lose this, then they lose the footing they've had.
Oh, Logi doesn't quite make contact, and Mr. Funky doesn't win the 50. Gamers Ground, they had a flurry of goals. Now they're back on the attacking side. Maybe they can make something happen here. Everyone has boost as well, but it's an aggressive challenge with Mr. Funky in the middle of the pitch. That's awkward. That's possession lost. Team Bliss again pushing to maybe end the game, but no, we flipped the map once more.
Oh, Mr. Funky! It has to be again. We're going to set this one up. It's going to come down off the roof. The Gamers Ground need the other 2 players to be able to come and set something up here. Mr. Funky's been standing out too much, and it's going to stand out again. A hat trick to bring them back into the game as
Double
the clock
commit.
looked like it was about to end their game.
Double commit leads to a one-on-one, and Funky puts it through. Team Bliss isn't challenging in the middle of the field. Gamers Ground is just challenging whenever they feel like it without thinking about the state of the game right now. Both these teams definitely have places where they can work on. However, tie ball game, 18 seconds left, and Logi has to push it out of a dangerous spot.
Now, no matter when this clock ticks down, it's going to go into overtime, which Team Bliss seemed so steady to cruise past, but they seem to have hit an iceberg. And Gamers Ground, I certainly will say that their block of ice was far bigger than expected.
And we're going to go to that overtime. The 3-0 lead all but gone. Golden goal situation, and if Team Bliss lose out here, they're going to have to reverse sweep if they want to win this series.
Reverse sweep, look, it can be very difficult to achieve. As of right now, I would say that I'm kind of feeling a tension coming here, Max. Like, these are teams that are going to be playing against each other in the finals. So to have a game this close right now already, I'm kind of excited to see where this is going to go this week and next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be keen for next week as well, though. I mean, I feel like both our series have the potential to be close.
Mr. Funky!
Ooh, Funky coming up big with the save right there. Still, though, Bliss with the pressure. Has to find something in. As Gamers Ground really struggling to get that clear. Boost starved. No boost on any of the Gamers Ground members. They have to recover, but can they do so fast enough to keep the attack going? Logi says yes and does so. Still with a full tank. Funky going for a double. Will drop it in front of the net, but cannot quite put it in.
I thought it was going to be Mr. Funky again. Oh no! The area doesn't get challenged, and you can see the looks of disappointment on the Gamer Ground's faces, knowing that they had that save. Logi jumps up and spirals past the ball, giving Team Bliss their first game at the best of 5.
You have to call that one what it is. It was an unforced error from Logi. Should have been a routine save. Very unfortunate for the Gamers Ground side, but for Team Bliss, they tied this series up. They stopped the comeback, which was looking very dangerous at the end of it all. Tied up series. And I think this one could go the distance, actually. I mean, both these teams are making very strange mistakes right now.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's maybe it's what you're saying, Max. They're trying to keep everything under wraps. They've got a big surprise for us. You know, Santa's wrapped up a gift, but it's not the 25th of December yet, nor is it the time for our grand finals. So, I mean, did you ever try to peek at your presents early, Max?
No. No, I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, well, I wasn't really a big Christmas family. Why are there 4 people on Team Bliss? There we go. All right, a little bit of a swap again for the Team Bliss side. Mixer now joining the fray. Mixer, of course, rocking, the Team Bliss colored Octane once again. We'll see how they can have that effect, but I agree and disagree with the idea that teams should be holding back. Honestly, what I think what's happening right now is both these teams are actually pushing a lot harder than what should be expected. Peach's shot bounces off a defender and in.
Yeah, you were saying, like, it seems like they're pushing harder than expected. The aggression is high. The unforced errors are also high.
Well,
there's
the aggression's high from the gamers' ground. Team Bliss, actually, I would argue they were aggressive in Game 1 and then overcompensated and got really passive in Game 2. They still haven't found that middle ground yet.
Maybe it's Game 3 for that one.
Maybe.
They got to find the Goldilocks zone. The porridge is too hot, too cold. Perhaps this time it'll be just right.
I know. No. I would like things to be just right. It's funny too because it's too hot in Queens, so it's probably too cold in Melbourne right now. We gotta find that perfect spot in the middle. Either way, Mr. Funky looking for Fruit Peach, not gonna find them. Mixer with an interception, proactive defensive play, but then just everyone's missing the ball. Everyone's missing the ball. There we go. Finally, we get a really, really delicate defensive touch, but no one from Team Bliss was pressured forwarding to challenge.
And now the goal looking open, but no one from Game Grounds can take the opportunity. I spoke too soon. Max, who else was it going to be but the Gamer Grounds? Bringing the vibes, the excitement, and the goals, Mr. Funky makes it too.
The crazy thing about Mr. Funky getting all these goals is Mr. Funky isn't even the most aggressive player on the team. Most of these goals start with Logi trying to find the shot and goal, missing completely, but drawing defenders, and then Mr. Funky just kind of picking up the scraps as, oh, that shot from Black Blaze should have gone in. So too should that follow, and that's an open net miss from Mixer. No, not like this!
Oh no! Oh. Even the Gamers Ground.
I mean, yeah, they felt that. They felt bad for their opponents there, too. That was 3 open net misses followed by the own goal. Classic Oceanic Rocket League.
This is why I love Oceania, Max. Maybe other regions have bigger prize pools, more opportunities, more competition, but never do you see Oceanic Rocket League quite like this.
No, we're definitely unique in that regards. That is for certain. Although I will say, the APAC region, pretty close second. Very, very close second. It's always kind of like these two regions. There's no way of saying this as Fruit Peach nearly gets another one in, but there's no way of saying this without sounding a little toxic. But oh my gosh, that was a triple commit miss. Focus on the point.
Focus.
Yeah, right. Oh no, another triple. Okay, no. Focusing.
No!
You know how toddlers, right? Kind of start walking and running around before they realize that they're walking and running around. That's Oceania. We have the mech, we have the speed, but it's not fully there yet. So you'll get weird double commit, triple commits, and yes, I'm calling our entire region a bunch of toddlers.
Yeah. Well, toddlers do have to grow up sometime, Max, and eventually, what?
Good save. Good save. And not just because of the goal. And not just.
And yeah, look, maybe once we grow up, all the other regions are boomers, and then we're kind of like the 20-year-olds in the field of like 50-year-olds who can't play Rocket League anymore. Is that what? I'm wishfully thinking, Max.
Yeah, I just let the boomers have a game. I don't know. What game can we give the boomers?
The boomers, like StarCraft?
No, are you kidding? Yeah, the game with the most actions per minute than anything else. Give that to the arthritis-riddled boomers. I'm sure that will go down well.
Yeah, but it's an old game, man. I'm sorry. If I asked anyone my age what StarCraft was, like 3 people would know. I am one of the 3 people under the age of 20 who knows what StarCraft is.
Yeah, and then you also know why that's a terrible idea for the boomers. Come on.
No, you're right. You're right. Maybe like competitive Candy Crush.
Oh, that sounds awful. We were talking about it earlier, Farming Simulator. There you go.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking about that one.
Yeah, there. That's the esport for the boomers. As we see that ball get
XP Esports, make it happen, please. Over 50, it's like seniors farming simulator talk. I would love to.
Just a seniors esports tournament in general. I actually, now that I think, the more I think about that, the more I want to see it, especially for like, maybe not Rocket League, but a popular esport. Like, go to like some retirement home and just be like, hey everybody, today we're teaching you all how to play Dota. And then
Not
stream
Dota.
it. Yes, Dota. I want them to be confused. I want the game to go 2.5 hours.
Oh no! Look, I feel like look, I'd be chilling with that. If I was like 70 and I wanted something to do, I'd be like a pro esports gamer. Like, you got time, right?
Actually, you know the one, it should be like a auto chess, like a TFT, I think would be the,
Oh, true.
that would be the way to go. And then it's like, you know, it's like you're playing Mahjong, except it's League of Legends. 4-0 in favor of the Gamers Ground.
Playing Mahjong, but it's League of Legends. It's close. I feel like it's more like bingo. You feel me? Like you'd be like, oh, I hit a 5 cost. I got the Yasuo I was looking for.
Yeah,
Wait, what was that?
woohoo!
Why there was we just saw a mod check from the Gamers Ground.
No, I
Like
think
they put up a little image.
they're just scoring goals. They're just having a good time. They're going to be up 2-1 in about 2 seconds time because Logi won't get there. Oh, okay, out of the corner. Still up. All right. What do we got? What do you got, Bliss? What have you got for us? Oh, you're just going to give it over to Logi? Okay, fair enough. Let's just go ahead. Nope. No, let's not go ahead.
How does he still have it?
I don't know what they're doing. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
End the game. Let's go on. Yeah, big flexes on the Gamers Ground side. They're 1 game away from taking the series.
Yeah, they've found themselves comfortably 4-0ing Team Bliss, and probably the biggest gap we've seen so far in this series, which is, I mean, it's shining well for the Gamers Ground. It's been a really chill game. They've had a chance to flick up some little memes, some emotes to show to chat, but then they also won that game because of some really unfortunate errors from Team Bliss.
Can I get a request, please? From Alex, our producer, our beautiful, beautiful producer. If you take a look at what our, the mod who accused me of being unable to read last week, what they have dropped in the Discord, we need to get that up sometime. Oh, hey, look at that! Yo! Giga chatting, thank you. Love
Oh,
the
wait,
DGG.
what?
Yeah, exactly!
That's awesome. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Now I feel bad for saying Team Bliss deserves to win.
Shh, don't say that after the show that up.
Now I feel bad for just all the terrible things I said about TGG.
I'm gonna screenshot that. That's going in the show reel, Max.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that too. I joke, but I actually do appreciate that. Still though, we still have another game. It's game 4 between Bliss and the Gamers Ground in our less than friendly. As like, nah, actually it's not friendly. I want. Oh, I'm still waiting for the big drama, but I don't think we're gonna get it in this event, and I hope we don't.
Yeah. Look, Max, you asked it to me at the start of this game because nothing matters, everything matters. You can tell how focused these teams are.
Yeah, they're more focused than we are, that's for sure. Hey, ball in the middle of the field right now. Team Bliss goes to Nate Mixel looking for the double. Can't get it through too.
Hey, Max, who are you going for in the World Cup?
I think the Netherlands.
What? Not Australia? Not the US?
Definitely not the U.S. Look, obviously I'm going for Australia, right? But my realistic pick on who I want to see win it is probably Netherlands.
Yeah. I think that's cool. I was going for Team Bliss, but
At the World Cup.
yeah. Didn't you know they qualified?
Oh. What group are they in?
They were in a group with Australia as well. They replaced Panama.
True. Because, yeah, I definitely didn't see Panama in that group, so I am that now it
I
makes
swear it was
sense.
Panama.
Yeah.
Please keep talking, Max. I'm gonna check who else it was.
As we watch Mixer now take it down the corridor, going to get a little late flick, and nearly goes in. Two defenders are able to race back for this one. As we do see the cross up, Fruit Peach holds it in place, and Logi will be the one who clears it back. Two defenders are racing back, one already on the backboard, and still the ball nearly gets by all three. Logi put a dangerous touch on it. Now it's only Mixer with boost for Bliss. That's going to be a lot of pressure coming down on them. Logi, first player forward, again misses with the shot. Fruit Peach going to have to rotate back. Nate Mixel, who has been the fastest player for Team Bliss. That will create some space. Have you got your answer yet?
Yeah, it was Tunisia. My bad. They replaced Tunisia in the group. My apologies, Max. I can't believe that my World Cup knowledge was so despicable to not remember whose spot Team Bliss took.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious actually how Team Bliss would go in the World Cup. I would imagine quite well. I think this five-man squad of what I believe are high schoolers, I think would do very, very well against the world's best.
Look, I think if you gave them cars, then we would see a much more interesting game.
True. We put 5 high schoolers in cars and put them on the soccer pitch to play against the Australian football team.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. It'd be an interesting game for sure.
Have you ever seen the video? I think it was the Japanese World Cup team from like 8 years ago, but they had like 3 players from the World Cup team play against like 200 primary school kids.
What?
It's great. It's actually great. They wrecked the kids.
Oh, that's crazy. 200.
Yeah.
I think get swarmed, you know? Like,
Well, they try to, and that's the problem, because it's like 180 ball chasers. And then 20 goalkeepers.
if everyone sits on your shoulders, there's no way the ball goes in, right?
They found ways. It just shows that like even the countries not really known for their football prowess are still better than 200 primary school kids.
Well, Japan, like, they've been making it to round of 16, round of... Pretty
They're not bad.
consistently
They're
so.
not bad.
Yeah, they're not bad. It's like they're vibing. You know? I wonder what would happen if you put that in this scenario as well in Rocket League. Like,
Yeah,
what
exactly.
are we seeing with like top 1 or 2?
It's
RLCS?
happened before. Take a look at, I want to say Sunless Khan put it together, where he took like an RLCS pro and like put it, like it's a bunch of bronzes and silvers. It's pretty funny. What ends up happening is the pro just air dribbles over the top. Like every goal.
And none of them can stop them. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, because I think what it was like, it started off with a bunch of bronze players, and then if they won, they had to play the silvers, and then the golds, and then the platinum.
Oh!
Yeah, it's a good little video. It's a fun little experiment. We have yet to see the goal, by the way, in our 4th game.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
It's like, no goal. This is unexpected. There's only under 30 seconds for a game that's had
Dangerous.
me biting my nails. Yeah, it's
Whoop.
not dangerous enough. No.
So last overtime, we did see Bliss come out on top. Nate Mixel wants to end it in regulation. It was a good pass to nobody, unfortunately, because Team Blitz still playing way too passive when the time calls for them to be aggressive. Now we come back in the opposite direction. Zerk IAU will put it down. Follow up from Fruit Peach. A chance for a 0-seconder. Shots there, and it's an own goal to end it.
Max! Oh, what a bittersweet way for the series to end.
Oh. Nate Mixel turned into it.
No!
Thank you for throwing reward TW Octane. Oh.
Do you think they had one each prepared for if they won or they lost there?
I think that same one was going up either way because it was a picture of himself. That was, you know what that is? That is Nate Mixel saying, okay, practice is over. We're ready for the main event. Let's call it here. That has to be the... There's a surprisingly large amount of series that actually end in own goal losses. Like,
there's a... I mean, like, what about when you're watching your top level stuff, Max? Is it still the same thing happens?
I want to say, let me just double check which team. I believe it was... One sec. I believe it was the Season 8 Worlds. If I am not mistaken. where we saw Sicky from the Renegades just drop an own goal after like a 7-minute overtime to knock the Australian team out.
Knocked the Australian team out as well.
Sorry, sorry, it wasn't a 7-minute overtime. It was a 9-minute overtime. 1-0 loss after an own goal. And it was a beautiful own goal. It was top. And I love Sicky. Sicky's great. Like, the longest playing RLCS member from the Oceanic region. Yeah, that own goal, Season 8 World Championship, that was a painful one. So yeah, it happens all the time with OCE teams is the point I'm trying to make.
And I gotta say, Max, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, seeing these player cams on, seeing everyone sit down next to their friends, I've had some of the best times I've had seeing these player reactions. Just being able to cast.
It's sick. And they're all having fun.
So cool.
And they're all having fun. Like, it is that casual attitude. We get to see, the personalities come in. And so a big congratulations says, yep, out there. That one.
I didn't see that second one. Oh, man. I didn't see the first one. Wow. That's
the first one was true. That was our attitude for sure for the first 2 games. That makes sense to me. ESPN 8 the Ocho, sign me up. That's where I want to be. I love that.
I'm expecting us to be on ESPN soon enough, Max. Maybe we'll set up our
it
own
would be
brand
it would
here in
be
Australia.
ESPN, it would be ESPN 8 though, the Ocho. Like, that's where esports goes. It goes all the way to 8.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen Dodgeball?
Yeah, like competitive dodgeball.
No. Okay, so you have not seen the movie.
The movie.
No,
the
you
movie,
have
the
not
movie
seen
as
the
well,
movie Dodgeball.
Sorry, I haven't watched the movie. No.
Okay, well, yeah, that's where that one's from. Look, that's beautiful. Thank you all. Been really feeling love and support today. It's been a fun one. It's been real. And guess what? Next week, we get to do it all again one last time for this club's championship. We're going to be going to the headquarters of Team Bliss. We're going to be drawing in, and it's going to be 2 matches, actually, of Team Bliss taking on TGG, both in Group 2 and Group 1. That's going to be spicy.
I'm excited to see it. And Max, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are going to be over there yourself.
We don't know yet. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not willing to die on that sword just yet. We'll see. If there's a way, I might be there. If not, we'll see how it goes out. But we have our results: 3-0 TGG game 1, 3-1 TGG game 2. Freespace, Haymakers, and Team Bliss each coming up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, that's right. But TGG coming out on top on both sides. They look like a bit of a threat. You weren't lying earlier, Max, when you said that these guys know how to churn out a champion.
Yeah, they definitely do. And so I'm going to be excited to see what they can bring out in the rematch. I think both of these series have potential to be good ones. So it's going to be a fun afternoon. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be starting that same time, 6:30 Australian Eastern. 7:30 Australian District if you have to be watching, elsewhere on the East Coast, or 4:30 if you're all the way in Perth. And if you live in South Australia, I have no idea what your time zone is. Go back to being on the hour, you crazy South Australians.
How do you do it by half an hour? Whose idea was that, Max?
I don't know.
It certainly wasn't mine.
Disgusting.
I think it was Alex. It was Alex's.
We'll blame Alex. We'll blame Alex for this one. One last time, too. Going to thank our sponsors for this event, Computer Alliance, for providing the tech being used to put this stream together, and from Mobius for providing screens being used by those players at TGG. We saw them out there today having a good time. And Quicksand, any final words before we send our lovely viewers, to a different stream?
Please, everyone, keep up the excitement, the energy, especially the players who've been going tonight. I'm having a great time watching you play. I know you're having a great time with what you've done. Me and Max, we got some lovely little cute pictures of us together, casting some ESPN 8. It is 9 p.m., so if you want to get on the World Cup grind, feel free to go ahead.
Yeah, it's time to watch Saudi Arabia get spanked.
Well, thank you out to everyone at XP as well for putting on the broadcast. Alex for sitting in this call with us and listening to us put everything and blame everything on him. And thanks for Max for casting with me tonight.
Yep, it was a fun one. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye, everyone.
At its core, we designed the Bliss HQ to serve as something of a community hub for esports lovers in Brisbane, but also anyone who really loves social gaming in general. We also want to facilitate as many community projects as we can in our space. Our esports organisation was originally founded around a group of friends who we wanted to support, so we really carry that sense of family and community with us for every new project that we do. The main floor of the HQ holds 18 computers, with our adjacent stage holding another 12, which we feel is pretty much perfect for a small to medium LAN event. Our main stage screen connects to an upstairs observer computer, which is great for anyone who's looking to broadcast any events or tournaments. And we're really excited to work with anyone in the community who wants to run a LAN or host any sort of community project in our space. Upstairs we also have a private room with 12 high-end PCs, which can be booked privately for teams who want to practice or compete together in a LAN environment, or you can book it for children's birthday parties, which also come with our upstairs lounge area for chilling out. We're also lucky enough to be Queensland facilitators for the Game Aware programs. These programs are designed to help young gamers tackle issues like self-regulation when it comes to overgaming, while also teaching healthy habits such as goal setting and self-motivation. We use our upstairs lounge area to facilitate these programs, also to facilitate programs like our esports camps, which give young gamers a bit of a roadmap of what it takes to go pro, as well as our professional development courses, which can give professionals a bit of an insight into the culture and psychology behind video games, so they can relate to either their students or their clients. The best part of the upstairs lounge area in my mind is how modular it is. When we're not running our classes, it transforms into sort of a chill out area with lounges and beanbags, but can also be used for such things as social gaming nights like Dungeons and Dragons or even Magic the Gathering events. The lounge space can be booked in conjunction with our private room if you're having a birthday party for young gamers, or just by itself if you're looking to host some sort of social gaming night for you and your friends. At the end of the day, everyone here at the Bliss HQ is ready to help facilitate any awesome community ideas you guys might have, whether it be LAN events, weekly leagues, or social gaming nights.